Football is a simple game, but it has a brutal truth. Thousands take the same shot, only one becomes the moment. For most players, talent isn't the problem, timing is. This is the story of a footballer who never stopped believing, even when the system stopped believing in him. From Melbourne's local ground to a call that comes when he least expected. Representing the nation in the middle of uncertainty, carrying more than just a shirt on his back. And then, one goal changed everything. A lifetime packed into a single strike. This isn't a highlight reel. It's a conversation about rejection, belief, and what happens when you finally find your moment. This is Aamir Abdallah. Leagues and debuts, welcome back to another week of Talking Trophies. The roll of 2026 continues. Make sure you hit the subscribe button. We got a special interview today. Special guest. He's made his debut. One goal can change your life. One goal can change the trajectory of your life. Aamir, welcome to Talking Trophies.
Good to be here, bro. Wallah, it's been a while. I was meant to be on a while back ago, but alhamdulillah, I'm on now.
Finally, yeah?
Yeah, wallah, finally.
You had to score the goal to get on.
Exactly. Big moments, bus.
Tell us about the goal.
Well, that was surreal. Wallah, to be honest with you, I have no idea. Like, I had no idea how to feel. I planned everything in my head. Like, okay, I'll celebrate like this. I'll do this or whatever. I'll have these emotions. I genuinely thought like I would break down because it's like it's a build-up of so many years of work just to try to at least just make some sort of moment like that happen. So I thought by the time I score, I was gonna burst out in tears, but the complete opposite happened. Like, I was just so full of joy, just running around while like celebrating, and it was unreal. Like, it felt like a dream genuinely when I was celebrating, but
yeah,
unbelievable feeling. I can't describe it, like, genuinely.
For those that don't know what we're speaking about, Aamir scored Sudan's only goal. Scored by a player. The other goal was an own goal. He scored for Sudan in the African Cup of Nations. Bro, you've probably taken that shot, I reckon, 1,000 times in your life.
Yeah, a lot.
You've taken this is what I hate about sports. Sports is the cruelest.
I know.
The cruelest thing on earth. You've taken that shot probably 1,000 times. You scored that goal, that kind of goal, maybe over 100 times in your life. But it was that specific moment that can change everything. How crazy is that?
It's ridiculous. Like, you train for these things for so long, and it's genuinely, that's like, you see it in football in general. Like, literally one moment in a big situation can just change everything for you. So like, all the build up of all the shots that I've taken and all this ones that I've missed, ones that I've gone in, no one really cared about those except for that, like, that one that happens in that big stage, which is it's cruel, as you said, but that's football at the end of the day.
Sports is cruelty. I think it's just like you train your whole life for one moment.
Yeah.
You know? And then someone, for example, would be an absolute machine for their whole life. To have the greatest career, but one moment ruins their whole career.
Exactly, wallah.
You know?
That's exactly what well said. Like, it's say for example, there's players that go seasons having amazing stints, like at clubs or whatever. Then in that big moment, nothing happens, and then that's all you're remembered for. Okay, he couldn't fulfill this, he couldn't do that, which is, it's rough. It's really, really rough, but that's football, man.
Guys, I just want to know, where does the obsession for football come from? You have an obsession with soccer, the sport.
Yeah.
Because I've known Aamir most of my life. Since we were kids, we played soccer together.
Yeah.
But it was just you and your family, like, loved the sport. Like, I remember your brother was the first guy I've seen do around the world. Do you remember the juggling?
Yeah.
You were the first person that I've ever seen do a scissor kick in my life. Like, you guys just lived, breathed football. Where does the obsession come from?
I actually don't. Wallah, I genuinely don't know. Like, we all started playing it ages ago, and we were much little, like in Sudan and stuff. But like, I don't know. I think it's just the sport itself. Like, it's obviously watching it as well and seeing like your idols play it and whatnot. Like, Ronaldo is a massive motivation for me. Like, just seeing everything that he's done throughout his career. Every time I go and watch videos for that, it just drives me so hard, like, just to go and play and become as good as I can. That's from me now as an adult, just thinking about what drives me the most. It'll probably be that, and as well just the pure love for the game. Like, genuinely, I don't know where it's come from. I have no idea, but it's just something that's in me that I just love it. So like to another degree, or like
Do you reckon that obsession is what is required to take you to the next level?
100%, 100%. I think there's a lot of people that lack in that, and to be honest with you, I thought I lacked in that because obviously you can only compare yourself to what you're around. So I'm never gonna say, oh, like I'm this great or I'm that great or whatever. It's just seeing your peers and the people that you play against and the people that you're constantly in competition with, and then thinking to yourself, oh, am I actually that good? Am I good enough for this or that or whatever? And then yeah, just going from there. But I think definitely that's something that you need to keep it consistent, because motivation, well, it just happens in moments. But then the discipline you can have and all that kind of that all is driven from something. So unless you have that sort of drive for the actual sport itself, then it's not going to work out, unfortunately.
Where did the discipline come from? Because you know why? Growing up, we grew up, there was players that were machines growing up. There's players that were like, these guys should be pro. We're looking at saying, how come these guys are not pros? How come they're not taking it to the next level?
Yeah.
Why is it you think that a lot of those people fall off in football, but you kept going?
I think it also matters, like, the sort of people that you have around you, the environment that you're in. Thankfully, alhamdulillah, I've got a very, very good family around me. And I've got two amazing brothers who have helped me throughout this journey for so long. I haven't achieved the greatest thing yet, but to get to where I'm at right now is all due to the people around me. My brother's my closest friend, his name's Samatal as well. These are the people that keep you grounded and at the same time make sure that you're not in those bad environments that get you carried away. I think a lot of people that we know either have been told they're the best player ever and all this kind of stuff, and then that sort of pushes them away to like from not that hard work sort of thing, where it's like, yeah, I know I'm the best or whatever, and it goes into that sort of mentality. And then also the people that they hang around with. Unfortunately, that's just life. So you just got to pick the people that you're with, having great people around you, Allah, that motivate you, that continue to remind you of what your goals are and stuff like that. That's very, very important. That's probably as important as having that self discipline yourself as well.
Because you know, the one thing is, you said everyone telling them they're the best. There's a lot of boys that, and you see it now even, you might be the best player in your team, but you're playing state 4 and reserves, and you think you're the best player. I think a lot of people do that. You have to take yourself out of the environment. You know, it was the first reality check I think I ever, do you remember Summer League? Do you remember Summer League?
The trials.
I went to the trials, cousin. I put myself down. Mind you, I didn't even say I was a winger. I was going to try. I tried as a fullback, and I was a good fullback. I didn't even make it into the Summer team. But you know,
right, those trials.
I think you, Mohammed, this were like the only ones that made it through or something.
Yeah, me and Mohammed, Azam made it from the other age group as well.
And Azam, yes.
Yeah.
No one else made it.
No.
We went in a van.
I know.
We went in a van and 3 people made it out of the van.
It's insane, bro.
But that was a good reality check. You know, that's when I said, look, soccer's not for me. I said, I said, I'm not going to pursue this because I saw kids that were ballers and way ahead of us. Like I saw people, I'm like, okay, these people live this. I like it. Like I love watching football, but I didn't, to play it, I wouldn't say it's like, oh, this is the greatest thing for me. But I love watching it. But like, I look at these guys, I'm like, these guys love watching and they live it. Do you remember Fabio? Fabio, Brazilian kid?
I just saw something about him the other day, but yeah,
I remember him. Like I don't know why I remember his name.
But
I just remember seeing him obsessed with football. You know, those players that were like lived it. And I think a lot of players that we know that were young and really good didn't have that exposure. And that's what didn't take them to the next level. They didn't they thought, I'm doing all right. I'll go training twice a week. But they don't know there's a kid that's training at 6:30 a.m. every day with his dad, taking shots on his left foot, taking shots on his right foot, doing header training. And I think that's what takes it to the next level. But like when you saw professionals play, like did you see a level of like, okay, this guy's a bit more obsessed with me? Did you see players like when you went to Sudan training that were like, okay, this guy's obsessed?
I saw players that were really talented. I can't differ between obsession and this discipline or talent and stuff. But what I saw was that there's players out there that are much better than me. Like, and then that's when it's like I need to get to that level. That sort of competition thing, I think, has always been inside me. Like whenever I see a player do a certain thing or have a great season or great whatever game and all this, I would very toxic, but I would always compare it to myself in my head. Not something that I would say out loud, but I would compare it to myself, and I just have that sort of battle, and then try to drive myself and push myself beyond what that person has achieved or whatever it is that they've done. So it's always like a competition thing for me. I think if you don't have that, I think that's when you start to become like complacent, and you be like, yeah, or make excuses, or be like, oh yeah, but I'm good in this. Just like you said, there's people that are in lower levels of football who, in their circle, they're the best player ever. But then as soon as you get out that bubble, you get a reality check. And that's what, as you said, majority of the people that we know, the people that grew up with, didn't actually get exposed to that. So then obviously that hurts them down the line. You get that reality check at like 18 or 19. By that time, most people are not just well developed, but they've also put years of training, and on top of that, they've got talent as well. So it becomes really hard. That competition becomes really hard, and then you have like one season, 2 seasons off, and then you're basically done after that, which is unfortunate. Yeah.
How would you describe yourself as a footballer? What type of footballer are you? Like, for someone that doesn't know you, if you had to explain yourself, like, let's just say before a scout comes, they might say, okay, I'm looking for a few players, and they say, what kind of player are you? How would you describe that to someone?
I think one thing that I wasn't, there's some things that I wasn't when I was growing up, but now I've developed maybe in the last 4 years, is a direct player and an impactful player. Like, you see players that go by games, a lot of people that we know that go by games where they look like the best player on the pitch, but they're not on the score sheet, they haven't assisted. So that game, maybe 3 games later, that's not remembered. No one's going to say, oh, remember when he performed like this. They'll say, oh, who scored that game? Who did this that game? Okay, this guy scored, this guy came off the bench, scored within 10 minutes or this, whatever. That's the thing that I've learned, that you got to be like really, really like determined to do in a game. Because performances just, everyone forgets them. No one's going to, like we were just talking earlier about, people can have seasons or 3 seasons or whatever of like amazing performances. But then in that one moment when they don't deliver, automatically it's just like, he's not that good. Yeah. He's not that good enough. So I think for me, just being that's changing my play into a player who's very direct in the game. Every time I get the ball, there's no passes for the sake of passing. It's always, how can I turn this into a goal? How can I turn this into a chance? Or do something to impact the game? I think that's where I'll probably describe myself as in someone who's direct and impactful, I think.
There's a curse to that as well, being a direct player, because you become more individualistic in a way. How do you judge that? How do you deal with that? Like, for example, you can naturally just go, hey, let me just play it off to the striker, or let me play it off to the winger that's running forward. How do you judge and go, you know what, look, maybe if I pass it back to the 8, and then he can go swing it around. How do you do those judgments?
I think it's a fine line between like being someone who's just like, well, what they say in the football terms, a hog. Like, you just care about just doing something well for yourself, and someone who's actually doing something for the team. I think it's whatever you're gonna do. If it's something that's gonna help the team, obviously it's fantastic. But if you are making silly decisions on the pitch of like deciding, okay, you know what, anytime I get the ball today, I'm going to dribble this many people, I'm going to do that. You have to assess the situation as well. So I think for me, it depends on the situation in the game. I would assess the situation, say if I get the ball and there's maybe 2 players on me. If there is no one else there, just like you said, if there's an 8 or if there's another player available or whatever, obviously go through that route. If not, sometimes as well, you need to have a bit of delusion and you need to back yourself and go at these kind of things in the game. So I think having the right balance of that, and I think that only comes with experience and time. I don't think that's something that someone can learn like immediately, unless someone's just talented in that way and gifted in that way in football with a football brain. Then it's a very hard thing to do. But with experience, it comes as well.
Right now, for someone young watching, how important is being not just training on the field, not physicality and stuff? How important is it to learn the game? Like, well, if I was a 15-year-old right now, I'm a centre mid or I'm a winger. I can just run, I can attack. I just play football. I just keep playing football. Where does the football IQ come from? Like, off the field, what can you do to improve yourself off the field?
Watching games, as many as possible. I obviously, you know, I support Man United, and I wouldn't watch, like, I'm not going to just say, oh, okay, I'm just going to watch a United game or whatever. I literally watch all sorts of football from any level, whenever I come across it. And all I do, wallahi, just genuinely is analyze the players. Like, I would watch, say, for example, a Brentford versus, I don't know, a Brighton or something. Not many people from the outside will go like, oh, this is going to, whatever, unless you're from there, obviously. So I would watch those games and just literally see the players in my position, how they think, what situations they're in, how they deal with those situations, and then try to mimic that, not just in games, but in training sessions, and then that obviously leads up into games. So as much as possible, it's basically theory work. Like, you're just watching as many games as possible and trying to learn from the best players. Like, maybe you haven't heard this person's name, but he's playing at the highest level. So he's clearly done something to get to that level. So there's 100% something that you can learn from this person.
Yeah.
So just watching as many games and trying to analyze the players in your position, I think that's probably what's best.
Yeah, you know, I reckon even just like pick a player for that match to watch. Like, if you're a winger, watch a winger play. If you're a centre back, just watch the centre back the whole game. Just keep once the screen goes on that centre back, you're just watching how that centre back moves.
Yeah.
And then you learn. As much as someone that I know football's not my thing. I call myself Harry Kane's my nickname. When I play soccer because I love scoring, but I don't actually like watch like playing it. I don't actually enjoy playing it as much as I do watching it.
Okay.
Like I love watching soccer.
Yeah.
That's all I do. Like when I'm just chilling, I'll just watch random games and stuff.
Yeah.
But I do have that curse for some reason. I watch a player and I'll analyze the player.
Yeah.
Like I'll tell you, bro. Randomly, I'll tell you like if Tottenham's playing, I go for Tottenham. I'll go, bro. Danny Rose, bro, just did my head in that game. I'm like, I'm like, why do I care what Danny Rose does? But the thing is, that's how I am. I'll just pick a play in a match and I'll watch how they play that game. That's how I am as a footballer. But
I think that's definitely the way to go about it, bro. Especially if it's that person's playing in your position. To watch all their movements on and off the ball, I think you can learn heaps from that, bro. Yeah. Like, not even in the space of 90, bro. In the first half, in the first couple of minutes, you can see a lot of things.
Muhammad, you know, the thing is, I think the problem is people like watching. It's good to watch the best players. But if you watch these teams that like Brighton, Brighton's a great team to watch. I enjoy watching Brighton. You know why? Because these are players that are going to develop and they're going to get sold for 90 mil, 70 mil to big clubs. Exactly. So they're doing something right for these big clubs to watch. So they're implementing a style of play. And you see how with Brighton, I think you can actually see the coach's style of play. Like, it's so obvious.
Yeah.
You know the game plan in comparison to like a City. You wouldn't know because Pep Guardiola can make changes every 10 to 20 minutes. He'd be like, all right, we're changing the structure, and the players know because they're at that high level. Yeah. But if you watch Brighton, you can see their game plan and you can learn.
That's true.
You know, there was something spoken, I think, on Sudan and Buddha. They were talking about games in Australia versus training. Do you think there's a lack of matches played here? We don't play enough matches in comparison 100%. To like you go to Europe and they're just playing every week.
100%. I think if you're talking about the A-League, I'm not quite sure how many games it was, but I know it's much less than the leagues around.
No, as in even developing stage.
The developing stage, I think it's so little. Like you're playing in a season, you're playing 26 games, 26 games of actual league games, and then you've got cup games that can probably add like an extra 5 games. If you do that well, it can add a bit more, but that is very little. You're playing way less than what these players play at the highest level. So I think that's definitely like a hindrance to a lot of people. Like as soon as they move from here to another league, firstly with injuries, your body's not used to that sort of load, and then as well just that having that match fitness and intensity as well in the game. I think you lack in that once you're exposed to people who play 50, 40 something games a year, which is ridiculous.
Tell me about Estonia. How was your time there? Because all I remember is in the group chat we get a couple YouTube links. And we used to just watch you play. We'd watch you play Kazi in a stadium indoors, fake grass. Wallah. That's all I remember. Wallah. We used to just watch you in Estonia. I used to just watch the links. You're playing in a random like closed off training center on fake grass. You play like 3 outfield games the whole year?
It was the worst, bro.
That's it.
Bro, it was bad. It was bad. Like, it's my first exposure of, like, professional football. And obviously, like, the country is very new in terms of football. Like, the club that I was playing at was established in 98. So that's very, very young club. So football in itself isn't the biggest sport there. But at the same time, I did feel a change in, like, levels from here into going into there. Because the players that come there aren't necessarily like just Estonian players. There's players that come. There was a player that I played with from Man City.
Yes.
So he's come there, and I'm seeing his level, and I'm like, okay, this guy just makes football looks easy. Like I'm there trying so hard, whatever, and he's doing things effortlessly. So I think for me, it was a massive like learning curve for me. Like I would just, as much as possible, try to learn from the players around me. Tips for on the pitch, even getting tips from players that aren't in my position, like centre backs, of the type of things they do on the pitch, the type of things they do off it, the gym sessions, the training programs, of this, as just soaking in as much information as I could. Obviously, it wasn't the most like successful time for me because I hardly played. It was very tough for me to play in those conditions and whatever it is. So it was very difficult, and I didn't succeed. So all I could have done was just learn from my peers, and I think it's helped me a lot in terms of growing as a player as well.
What was the player's name from Man City? It was
Ernest Ajiri.
And you were roughly the same age, right?
Yeah, he's a year older than me only. Yeah.
What did you see you go? Because you came from Australia, you're playing from a footballing system in Australia. This guy's obviously training in Man City, one of the best footballing youth academies in the world.
Yeah.
What did you see the difference between you and him? Like development. What development advantages did he have over you? One in Man City and one in Australia.
I think firstly, training at that high level, the stuff that you're exposed to, I couldn't even imagine. Like, I'm playing with people firstly who are my age and have similar experiences, whereas he's training with someone like a Kyle Walker. Like I can't even imagine playing as a winger playing against a player like that. And the things that you would learn from the players that you're watching as well while you're there would be ridiculous. Like Leroy Sané is there at the same time, so you're watching one of the greatest wingers do stuff in training, do stuff in games, and you're learning as much as possible from them. So I think the biggest difference was before we're talking about footballing IQ, on the pitch, the decision making that he would have was like 95% of the time spot on. Like the right thing to do is what he done. Whether it's to take a shot, whether it's to pass, whether it's to cross, whatever it is, he was always doing the right thing, and he was always calm about it. There was no rush in his game. He always looked like he was under control, and the game looked easy for him. Like it just looked like it was going in slow motion for him. So to see that and then to compare that with my level at the time, I was like, this guy's way above. But it's not something that I can't reach. So I was always there, obviously asking questions, whatever it is, and just trying to learn as much as possible, and then learn a couple of things, and then hopefully that's helped me down the line as well.
What do you reckon was the biggest lesson you learned over there in Estonia?
It's probably a very boring one, but I would say like no one cares about your performance if you don't come out with something. Like, nobody cared. Like no, I would finish a game. I remember I had my debut starting against a team called Padno, who I went on loan to the next season, and I had an unbelievable game. I think I should have had maybe 2-3 goals by the end of the game. I came at that game, no goals. But what happens the next game? Not starting, not nothing. But I had so much impact on the game, but nothing successful. I think those kind of moments is a massive reality. Because here, if you have that kind of game, I would think, that's it, I'm secured, my position's done. But the thing is, I had no output. So for them over there, it's more like you're starting for a purpose. The reason why you're starting is not to have a great game, it's to change this game for me. You can probably have a stinker for 80 minutes, and then the last 10 minutes, you score a goal or two for me, and we win the game. Now you get rewarded the next game for that. I think that was a massive lesson, because the way I thought about football before that was get a couple of touches, do well, perform well, increase your performances, whatever, and then things will happen. But it's definitely not the case. It's got to be like numbers, unfortunately, is time that we're living in right now. So you just got to provide numbers, and that's the only way you continue to go forward.
Yeah, man. I think football's changed. I always say where a stat-driven thing. This whole eye testing is fading away slowly. It's
100%.
How many goals? It's like Wakehorse.
Yeah.
Bro. That guy.
It's a great example for it.
We look at him now, going, what's going on? Why is he on the field? But some people the old schoolers are looking like, oh, he did a great play. Oh, he's holding the ball up. He has a good hold up. It's a different. We don't look at him the same as someone that's let's just say someone that's 50 versus someone like us, we don't look at them the same.
Sure.
The game's changed.
Sure.
What do you reckon is the hardest thing about playing professionally, bro?
I think keeping the right mindset and like a steady head, because in football, as you know, the term that they always say, you're only as good as your last game, and you can either let that like ruin you or get the best out of you, because you can have a game where you score a hat trick, you feel on top of the world. The next game, you score an own goal, and you guys lose like 1-0 or something. So you were the causer. Immediately, you are like rock bottom. So keeping that stable head of like, okay, I've scored a hat trick. Okay, like I'm not gonna get too ahead of myself. Still, like I've still got places to go and things to like improve on and stuff like that. And keeping that level-headed, rather than saying, you know what, I'm the best ever, and I'm this and I'm that. Obviously, you can think those things, and that can help you perform. But I think when it changes the way you're playing in a negative way, that could really be the end for things for you.
What do you mean? What do you mean negative way? Let's just say you scored a hat trick. As you said, you scored a hat trick. The next game, you become a bit more confident.
Yeah.
Can that be a negative way?
Yeah, it definitely can be. Because we were talking about earlier about decision making and the football IQ things, and having that balance of being so eager to score and at the same time making that eagerness ruin your decision making. You can go on the pitch being like in unbelievable form, but might come off it, not had scored a goal. But then that game, in the eyes of many, would look like a game where you are ruining play on purpose, not playing the ball because you want to score so badly, but things aren't going well for you. It's always that balance of like thinking, you know what, yes, I'm in form or whatever. If half a chance comes, I'm taking it.
Yeah.
If there's a 1-on-1, I'm taking it. Like stuff like that. Like you see like a sweaty goal, like someone's running at the goal and there's a pass. If that player is in form, no chance he's passing that ball. No chance. If he's not, if he's feeling whatever, if he's already scored, then you see that ball being played a bit more. So it's like moments like that, that's just a very like exaggerated example. Moments like that is what can like change your image and then obviously ruin your confidence. Like say for example you decide to have that shot, you miss it or you miss the target, that could immediately just send you to rock bottom again. So having that sort of like level mind, it helps a lot, man. Yeah.
Talking about level mind, did you ever contemplate quitting? Because imagine coming back from Estonia.
Yeah.
You know what? And then you come back, you go, you know what? Let me play a bit of MPL.
Yeah.
Then you get a bit bored of MPL. You're just like, you know what? Let me go play Newmarket Phoenix on Sunday with the boys.
Yeah.
Did that thought ever come to your mind?
100%. Because at the same time with football, it's an age game, and we know your years are very limited. Unless you're obviously someone who can take care of their body into their 40s or whatever, then maybe, okay, you can make it far. But that's definitely a thought that I had, especially at the time when I came back from Estonia, because that time I was 24, which is a very, like, a sensitive age in football. It's like either like a make or break sort of thing. So at that time, I came back and I had to go and play State League. I played State League 3, I think it was at the time. So that I felt rock bottom. I was like, this is like, I'm done for. And then playing an MPO and not even being able to be a starter of a team.
You went State 3, who'd you play for?
Slugger. Very low Slugger.
Yeah. And then you went to...
And then I went to Heidelberg. Yeah. Yep. So that was that time. So I played with them for about 7 weeks. That was the time during Ramadan, 6-7 weeks. And then I got out of that when the window opened and I went into Heidelberg. Could not secure a starting position. I think I didn't even start one game. I don't think I started one game, so I didn't even start any game. So I couldn't even make my way into a squad when I was coming from a professional environment. So I think at that point, that's when it hit me the most. I'm like, bro, at this age, I'm 24, turning 25 or whatever, and I'm like, I can't even play. I can't even start. Forget.
I'm playing with Aamir. And the guy's spending 25 minutes taping up his ankles. I'm playing.
Oh, it was bad. It was bad. Like, it was rough, man. Like, at that point, that's when I started really thinking about it. Like, don't get me wrong. It's happened in moments before. Like, whenever you have a bad game or a bad season or whatever. But that's the point where, it really, really hit me. Because at that point, you're just like, I came from here and then I'm all the way here now. It's like a start again sort of process, which hurt a lot. And the only thing you could do is that's the time where that drive for the sport is the only thing that can carry you through, because there will be people around you that could probably be a positive thing to you or maybe a negative as well, but no one's actually going to drive you to do that. And motivation doesn't last for that long. Like, it's just in moments, and then khalas. The discipline is what's going to help you, and then if you're driven in that sport or whatever that thing that you're doing, then obviously you can continue going forward. Yeah.
So how'd you go? So because you in Heidelberg, I remember at Heidelberg. What did I say? I'm like, Kazi, these guys are playing long balls. They were doing long ball switches, and I'm like, but you're more of a technical player. You like to bounce the ball off you, and I was like, this doesn't look like it. When you went to Hume, that's the season that was like, okay, I'm on a roll now.
Yeah.
How was that? How was getting that momentum? I think scoring every other week or assisting that every second week.
Yeah.
How did that build your confidence?
That was insane to my confidence. Like every single game, I would walk into the game knowing that I'm gonna score or assist or whatever. Like I'm gonna impact this game in the best way possible. And it wasn't a thing of like there's doubt. There was literally no doubt. Every single game you're walking in thinking, yep, I'm gonna do this again or whatever. And then the people obviously around you, like that team. If I was to compare that team to all the teams I played with, that was a ridiculous team. Like everyone in that team was an ex-professional or was just a very good quality player. Like that's never played professionally or whatever. But so everyone had a very great understanding of each other, and I think that helped a lot. And then obviously again we were talking about the thing of like competition in driving. The player that I played with in that team that was playing on the left wing was the ex-Premier League player.
Southampton.
Yeah, Southampton, Lloyd Isgrove. So him scoring and then like me seeing that, and I'm like, I need to reach that. Like that constant drive every single week. He scores, I score, he scores, I score. That was amazing for like my performances, because it would keep me like pushing myself every single week to try to make sure that he doesn't actually go far, like far away from my goal tally anyway. I need to play catch up the whole time. So it was really, really good, like in a healthy way, obviously.
How good is that actually? How do you, for example, like we see it in the Premier League, you see it. Obviously, it comes off as the headline back in the, like when it was Sadio Mane and Mo Salah. They probably didn't care. They didn't care about it. They loved the competition. In training, they were probably homeboys, whatever.
Yeah.
But obviously in the media, it's a big story. It makes it look like they don't like each other or they resent each other, they have envy of each other, so they don't pass. How is it having a player that you can compete with in a positive way?
Yeah.
Like, this guy's pushing me, like he scores, I want to score.
Yeah.
How good is that feeling?
It's very good. It's very good. I think the way the media pictures it, obviously at the biggest stage, is like, that's what the media is for. It's like start controversy, start this, whatever. That's their job. So I don't think it hardly ever affects a player like in a negative way, that competition, unless you don't actually match that person's intensity. Like say for example, if I didn't match the goal tally that he had, that would probably affect me mentally, because I'm like, I wanted to be that person. It can either drive me now or be like, shit, I'm not actually good enough or whatever, and then just stop. So that sort of healthy competition, and of course, like it's not someone that you're just working like to beat. You're also asking them for help. You're seeing how they train. You're seeing everything they do, and you're constantly absorbing all sorts of information from them, to help you be the player that they are, or to go beyond them, or whatever it is that you want to do as well. So it's a very, very healthy thing, and I think it's one of the biggest factors to maintaining like a good amount of consistency for majority of the season as well, because otherwise you're still just playing in your head. You're just comparing yourself to whatever else that you want to, whereas having actual competition right in front of you every single day at training and every single game.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a good thing,
yeah. Tell me about the call up to Sudan. How was that?
The first one that I got called up to was in Ramadan in 2024. It was 2025. That one was like, that was a crazy camp, because obviously it's Ramadan, so all the games, all the training sessions were late, whatever. So that was my first experience of it, and I absolutely loved it. Like I loved every bit of it. The training sessions, the environment, the professionalism, everything was amazing. So I had no issues at all. And then obviously you're playing against players who have all sorts of experience. You're playing against national teams. Like the national team I played against was Oman at the time, and not knowing anything about any Omani player, and then playing against them and seeing their level, seeing the players that they have, how good they are, whatever. It was just amazing to see and to compare yourself, because all you know is the people around you here. So you're constantly comparing yourself with the NPL players or whatever, or even A-League players if you played against them in the cup. And then to put yourself in a position where you've never been, and then see other professionals around you, and then go like, actually, I'm not too far away from these guys. Like I'm either on their level or maybe just a tiny bit below, or whatever it is. That was amazing. And then obviously the camp, the most recent camp with Qatar in the Arab Cup. I didn't play in that, but I was part of the squad there. I was just with them. And then obviously into AFCON. Those teams, the teams that you're seeing, the players that you're seeing are at the highest levels, and then you're seeing them firsthand live, like in front of you, how fast they are, how smart they are, how good they are technically, what they do on the ball, off the ball. Unbelievable. Like, these are things that you'd pay to experience, you know. So it was amazing. It was really, really good.
It's how much of a shock was it seeing them in person? Like seeing like the elite, let's just say seeing a Sadio Mane in person.
Yeah.
Or actually go like with the Algeria game, because he didn't get subbed on. So you're watching these guys, watching Mahrez run on the wing, or watching Rayan Antonori run up as a fullback. How surreal is it seeing them in person and going, oh, this is the level of eliteness?
Yeah, it was crazy. It was crazy. The first thing I realized was like, these guys are like normal people. Like, Nouri and Mahrez just looked like regular Arab guys that we've played with here. Like, when I just saw them, I was like, this is just a normal human being. This is whatever. Obviously, we see them in Champions League, we see them in Premier League and all this. And then you come there and you see them, and then you see how they play and how comfortable they look the whole game. And it doesn't look tiring for them. They don't look like they're putting in so much effort. And they're still, like, Mahrez left that game with 2 goals. We got beat 3-0 and he scored the 2. And thankfully, the first half, it was on the wing that I was on, like where I was on the bench. So I was literally watching his first touch, him cutting in, him having a shot, whatever. So I was seeing everything. And I was just happy that I saw things that I'm like, I'm capable of doing this. Like, I can actually try to mimic this in games or whatever. So it's not something like so far away to the point where you think, my level is nowhere near this. Like, I can't even get to that. Like, just seeing that and being able to compare yourself to these players. Obviously, I'm nowhere near, like, in terms of like the experiences that they've had, which allows them to play the way that they play. But then you see things that you're like, I'm capable of doing this. I can actually do this or whatever, you know.
Right. You're delusional. That's why. You got it. You have a bit of, wallah, that's what it is. No, but that's what you need to get. You need to get that to go to the next level.
Yeah.
Like, for you to be able, that's what got you to be able to take that shot in the Senegal game.
True.
Play against these guys. You're on the same field as Sadio Mane. It's because you're delusional in a way. You're like, how do I say it? It's like someone that's like, you have the potential. There's a difference between someone that has a potential. It's like me going to a job.
Yeah.
It's delusional. What you're doing.
Yeah.
Because I can go to a job and go to a hospital and say, I'm a doctor. My friend popped his shoulder a couple of times. I popped it back in and I helped him put it back in. That's what it is, really. Because
that's a great example for it.
Because you played MPL,
you
finished the MPL season, and you're going, no, I can play with these guys now. That's a level of like, I can play with a guy that played at Bayern Munich, Liverpool. I can play with a guy that's currently playing in Premier League at Everton. I can take a shot against a keeper that won a Champions League and was a crucial part of a Chelsea team that won a Champions League. Yeah, it's a bit of a delusion you have to have. That's something people don't have.
That's true.
Genuinely, you have.
I actually didn't think about it that way at all. Wallahi. But
because you're on the bench, watching this guy Mahrez play.
Yeah,
who helped Man City win a Champions League.
Yeah,
and Rayan Antonori obviously plays as fullback. He's playing right now at Man City. And go, you know what? I'm not far off these guys. Yeah. I'm far, but I can get there.
Yeah,
you have to have a bit of a delusion.
That's true.
Huh?
That's very true.
Because when you're explaining it, I just clocked. I'm like, it's not something normal, but like that's what makes a player great. And I think a lot of people don't have that. For example, when I remember watching Mbappe for the first time at the World Cup against Australia, bro, and I saw his pace, and I go, I could never. Yeah. I'm like, this is unreal. I was in shock of seeing Mbappe.
Yeah.
Just how he was playing. And Griezmann too.
Yeah.
I was like, this guy's unreal.
A joke.
I was like, this is not normal. But the difference between you and me is, you and I, is you can go and go, You know the way Mbappe cuts in? I reckon if I do a couple more agility exercises, I'll be able to cut in.
Yeah. Yeah. No, that's true.
And
That's
that's
true.
what takes you to the next level, but
That's
the
true.
thing. I think a lot of people here don't have that.
Yeah.
Some people, and even what you were saying, when you're doing the play comparison,
Yeah.
you go, you know what? If I train a little bit harder, I can compete with him.
So that's true. Yeah.
Whereas, rather than this guy's too good for me, and then you get envious, and because let's be real, there's a couple people watching that goal Aamir scored and go,
I can do that.
I can do that.
Yeah,
The guy's sitting down, cause eating a zinger burger box, cause at 3 a.m. cause. They had to microwave. There's a difference. There's a difference in the level, wallah. What that? You know, there's someone that watched you do that shot. Woke up the next day at 6 a.m.
Yeah.
Did that shot 1,000 times.
Yeah.
And there's someone that watched you did that shot while eating a zinger burger box.
Yeah.
And said, I could do it. It's different levels of delusion. Huh?
That's true. That's true. Well, that's very true.
Tell me.
It's just the belief. It's just the belief in it, bro. That's all.
It is wallah. It's
Yeah.
that's I think what takes you to the next level.
Yeah.
Like Ronaldo, even Cristiano Ronaldo had it, I think, as well. As much as you think he's the GOAT,
Yeah.
I think he doesn't come close to Messi at all in talent. But I think his delusion is what made him compete at the highest level.
So-
I genuinely believe that. I think his delusion to go, because Messi is not normal.
No, Messi's talent is ridiculous.
It's not normal.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
if Ronaldo played the same way he played, at the same level if Ronaldo played without a Messi,
Yep.
he wouldn't be at the level he's at. If Messi did not exist, I genuinely believe Ronaldo wouldn't be where he's at.
Really?
He'd be good, but
Yeah.
I don't think he'd have that
The drive.
12 year of me and this guy going band for band, that level. I'm able to score that many goals. I think he'd be great.
No, that's true. That's very true. You're right.
I think he'd be around Wayne Rooney's level, like of amount of goals, and he'll be killing it, but he wouldn't be spoken about now.
Okay.
You know?
I don't mind that shout because definitely that was, you can see the way Ronaldo is as well, the personality that he has.
It's that drive,
Yeah, 100%. It's definitely that drive.
Yeah.
It comes within, but from obviously if you've got players like Messi, then obviously that's going to carry you through.
That's my last football take. If you want to see any more football takes of mine, go check out the Galacticos podcast.
It's a good ad online. That's brilliant.
You know, there's a lot of players from like Europe that are going back now and playing for their national teams, like their ethnic national temes.
Yeah.
For example, Alex Iwobi plays for Nigeria because he was playing in England and he goes, look, you know what? I probably won't be playing at my best here. Let me go play for my parents' club, Nigeria. Yeah. But then they said there was a level of differences in just like the professionalism and stuff like that, like and how things are done.
Yeah.
What was the biggest difference between obviously playing in Australia and playing with the Sudanese national team, of how they approach things and stuff?
Obviously, everyone's got their approaches. Like, there's a lot of places that you go to, like, even here, I'll go to one team, their approach is different from another team. So there's always going to be differences. There's positives and negatives that come about with it, but at the end of the day, it's things that either you're used to, like things that you've done before, or things that you haven't. So the thing with the Sudan thing is that it's obviously things that I haven't been exposed to. That's a professional environment. It's a national team environment. I haven't played with another national team before. So that's now my experience of what a national team should be like. So for me, it wasn't like anything in a negative way. I think everything that was done, the professionalism, the standard of like say for example the facilities that you play at is very high level. Majority of the camps are in Qatar or Saudi or whatever. You know, these places are like known for these kind of things. The amount of money they put involved in it, and then everything else, like from flights to accommodations to whatever, everything was top notch. So I can't really say much about it, to be honest. It was really good.
Do you reckon there was a cultural difference playing Sudan? The thing is, don't forget, like
100%. Like if
there's
you're
a
coming
cultural
from
difference
here,
coming from Australia.
Of course. Coming from Australia, being majority of football here is played around Europeans. It's like if you're playing in the MPL, in the A-League, whatever, you're playing with European players basically. Yep. Everyone that's from Greece, from I don't know, Macedonia, whatever it is. So the stuff that they speak about, and as well the Australian culture itself, everything that's done here is obviously going to be different to people there. So when you go back there, luckily for me, I grew up in Sudan for 7 years, and then now even here, you're living in households where you're still keeping the same traditions as before. So it's not that much of a difference, but you see differences in, say, for example, my Arabic is good, alhamdulillah, it's actually okay, but there's things that they will talk about that I can't even understand or whatever it is. So there's things like that. And then on top of that, there's like, I don't know, things, very small little changes that they might do in like their day to day, the way that they talk to each other, the way that they greet each other, everything. Like there's differences where here you wouldn't have the same sort of things. So it's very small things, but I think if you're someone, maybe if I was someone who never been to Sudan, who never was born there or whatever, then maybe that would be an issue. But I think for me it was an easy transition. Like I fit well with these guys here because I grew up here, and I fit well with those because I grew up here and it's my home as well. So it's not an issue as well.
Shout out all our Sudanese listeners. Shout out my people in Jebel Awliya. that's where my family is at, in Jebel Awliya and Kalakla.
Yeah, fire.
Yeah, that's my spot, man. Wallahi, I was telling Aamir before camera, Wallah, I love Sudan. I love Sudan, man, and hopefully things get better there. Wallah, I just love that place, man.
Inshallah.
That place, oh, bro.
It's beautiful. Beautiful place, wallah. Very, very nice.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
Tell me about, look, don't give me the politically correct answer, but how did you feel as a professional not getting subbed that first game?
I was furious. I was pissed.
Yeah.
I was really pissed.
Yeah.
Like, and I think that's a normal thing for any player. I think before that game, I was saying things like, I'm going to swap jerseys with Mahrez. I'm going to swap jerseys with Eaiser, whatever. Like, after that game, I took my stuff. I went in the bus, whatever. I don't want to talk to nobody. I don't want to see nobody, whatever. Because I wanted to play. Every player's dream is to play. Not forget just playing. You're playing at that stage. First game of AFCON, amazing stadium. Premier League players, unbelievable standards. Like, that's where you want to play.
Zidane's there.
Bro, Zidane's watching as well. Like, it's a joke. His son is in goals.
Yeah.
It's like, it's insane. And just seeing that and hearing them, the crowd, like, seeing these players play, you're just so, like jealous and just wanting to play. But not in a way of, like, why am I not, like, why is this guy playing? Why is it not that, if, like, why am I just not playing? Like, nothing to blame on anyone else, but just I want to play. Like, whatever it is,
I thought, to be honest, I thought you were going to get subbed on until the red card as well.
When the
I
red
think
card
that's
happened,
situational. Yeah. Like, if you think about it, that is situational in that game.
100%. 100%.
I think, and you know, not to say you're not a defensive player, yeah. Like, obviously off the ball you do the work, but you're in a red card and you're the underdog as well. You're the extreme underdog. Like, I could see the coach's logic to not sub you on.
100%. To not sub any attacker on was the right
because
move,
you're the
100%.
underdog.
True.
It's like, for example, literally the equivalent of that game was, if you go back to 2011 when Chelsea won the Champions League. 2011 when they're versing Barcelona at the Camp Nou and John Terry gets the red card. They're not going to sub on an attacker unless they have to score. And that's when Torres comes on and does whatever. Like in that situation. And I'm like, I knew you weren't going to get subbed on in that game even.
I had a feeling that I wasn't. But I also didn't want to believe that feeling because I was warming up a couple of times and I thought, okay, this might be the time to play and stuff. So I was a bit hopeful, obviously. So then that's why it hurt even more as well after the game. And obviously having my brothers there as well and wanting to play in front of them and at this kind of stage, like it would have been an unreal experience, but it all worked out for the best at the end. Like, that red card is what caused me to play the next game. The injuries that happened during that game is what caused me to play for the majority of the following games as well. So, alhamdulillah, it all worked out at the end. So
I think we all, what is it? We all plan, but Allah's the best of planners.
Yep, exactly that.
You actually don't.
Very true.
Know how things, like, if imagine you got subbed on that game, something happened, you don't know.
Exactly. I could have had a terrible game. It just looked like, because there was a lot of like hype from the Sudan media about playing me and stuff like that, because some people had seen me in training in Qatar and stuff, so people were excited to see me play. And if I had come on that game where got a couple goals down, red card, it would have just been like a terrible performance for me. Like, I'm just defending and stuff like that. They wouldn't have seen nothing, and then that might have just ruined me for the next couple of games where I wouldn't have played. So, alhamdulillah, so it's good.
My favorite game was the Burkina Faso game.
Yeah, that was my favorite game as well. That was amazing. That was very good, man. Like, I really enjoyed that. I think the most difference between that and the other games was that I was playing in the middle and I was getting so many touches on the ball. Obviously, knowing that Sudan goes into, not majority, but some of these games as the underdog, and probably the team that has the less amount of possession, you're going into these games thinking, I have just 2 moments, 3 moments of this game to prove something. Whereas in that game, I had like 11, 12 times where I was on the ball, doing something, affecting play in some sort of way, dribbling, shooting, passing, whatever it is. So that helps in so much, just getting your confidence up. And that's what I think backed me to even then play the following game against Senegal the way I did. So it was good. It was really, really good that game.
So everyone go. So when people say, you're 26 now, yeah?
Yeah.
Like, if this guy's reaching his peak, what can he do? And I always say this, until you can go play cam. You're a winger, but once you get to over 30, you can become like a Santi Cazorla.
Yeah, I could change back. And I was started as a cam, so I'm always happy to.
So you can go to be a cam, yeah?
100%. 100%. I personally prefer that a lot more because I'm so much more involved in the game. As a winger, you probably have like moments more than anything. So you got to do your best with what you have. Whereas as a cam, you're constantly involved in play, whether it's just possession of the ball or it's progressing the ball as well. So I think it's a very nice position to be in, and you're always like in a free roaming role, like where no player is going to follow you, no six, no centre back, whatever. If they do, provide space for other people, and then you're scoring.
But, you know, cam's a mature role as well. You got to have a certain level of maturity, and that's why it's better as you do it with your age, because you're relying less on physicality, and you're like, okay, let me read the game better. Let me give that pass that can, instead of making those 3 passes, I'll give this pass and we'll cut those 3 out, becomes more efficient. So,
and I think it's one of the main positions in terms of what we were talking about earlier, with like having a level head, because you're in a position where you can impact the game in a positive way or in a negative way. The attack starts from you, and as well the defense stuff starts from you as well. So you're in a position where you can decide whether to shoot, to pass, to create a chance, whatever it is. So you have a massive impact on the game, and then your decision making is what impacts the result, probably most likely as well.
Yeah, that's actually that it's a big difference.
It's a massive role. It's a massive role.
Tell me about there's you're through to the round of 16. This is the biggest game of your life. This is bigger than when North Lions we had to either beat or draw Plenty Valley Lions in 2008 to win the league.
Well, I don't know how you remember these things.
To win the league. And SA scored the first goal, took his shirt off, did a lap around the
that
field.
I remember, yeah.
And then they scored 2 goals.
Oh my goodness.
And then Azam scored the equalizer, but we celebrated it like it was the win because we finished on top of the table. So the night before, obviously, there's that. Obviously, in my life, I've played in a grand final for footy.
Yeah.
And every time I think of a big event, like a final or a big event, I always remember the day before the 2006 World Cup, Pirlo was playing FIFA with his boys. What did you do the night before the Senegal match?
Great question. I was just watching YouTube. I was watching Sidemen or something. I was just like laying in bed. Because I don't do much, especially in camps as well. So I do my normal routine, which is I'll go to the gym, I'll do my recovery, I eat whatever I need to eat and all this. But I'm always in bed early. Like I'm in bed sleeping probably by like 9 p.m., 10 p.m. So for me, it was just like I'll lay down in bed, talk on the phone, whatever. But the thing that will probably like... I think about the game a lot. I think it's maybe a negative thing, like you shouldn't think that much about it, but I do think about the games a lot because firstly, like you can probably picture how much pressure this moment is. Like I've not played in this situation before in my life. This is an opportunity to change a lot of things for me, to provide so many opportunities for me, and if I perform, so many positives can come out of it. If I don't perform, so many negatives can come. Not just that I won't get an offer from a club or something, but I might not get called up to the national team again. Because now you've given me my chance and I haven't taken it. And now that could ruin me for the next couple of years. So all that pressure was constantly on me and I was thinking about it, which is obviously a negative thing. But that was all the day before the games and stuff. Those are the kind of things that I would think about. And luckily, during the day of the games, I think I was always like excited. It was never things of nerves. It was always excitement. Like I cannot wait to play. I cannot wait to do this, to do that, to try this thing, to try that thing. And I would constantly just be watching. Obviously, I talked about an idol, Cristiano Ronaldo, where he's built for like moments like this. So I would go back and rewatch things of like moments where how he was before the game, how his energy was, whatever it is, and just try to mimic that as much as possible. Like one thing that this is just a random thing, but one thing that changed like my thought of the way I would think about myself in the game is, you know, when you come out tunnel when you're walking into a game.
I've never done that in my life. I've never experienced that in my life.
Because at any
Is
level,
it crazy or what?
at any level,
There's no tunnel. Because the highest level I played was state 4.
They have tunnels.
They don't have tunnels because you come out.
You don't stand out. You don't stand at the pitch. You don't stand at the pitch together and then shake hands. Nah, come on,
No,
man.
I swear, you just stand in your position.
Oh no,
Kaz, it's the highest level. I play footy, Kaz.
State 3 was doing that.
I play footy, Kaz.
Yeah, fair. Surely at footy you guys do that. You just go straight into it.
You go straight into it. You run into your position and you shake hands. You shake the guy that's marking you. You shake his hand.
That's it.
It's not like soccer. You start in your position, and the guy looks at you guys. Good luck for the rest of the game. I say good luck, enjoy.
Okay,
and then I have a tradition by every game. Before any sport I play, I just read Ayatul Kursi and then I start the game.
Fire. That's good. That's pretty good, wallah. But now I was saying, when you come out in the tunnel, you know how players stand together, and then when you're coming out as well, I'm someone who's firstly I like shy in a way, like I don't like to make eye contact with people as much or whatever. So in games and whatever, I'm like just looking down in the warm up, like in the coming out and then standing in front of people as well. I'm always looking down, and then it's like a little bit of a change of character is, instead of looking down, look up and look directly into people's eyes. Like, show confidence. Like, don't show like that you're timid or you're whatever. Like, show some sort of confidence from the start. And then that, for me, that used to be something that just impacts my game. Because I would be like, I don't want, like, whatever. Like, just let me, like, just get going with the game or whatever. But that was like a small change that I started doing a lot more. And I've seen small differences, and it's all these little micro differences that eventually help with the performance. So, very small thing, but I think that helped a lot in terms of like the belief into the games and stuff.
How's your sleep?
Oh, I slept like a baby.
You sleep like a baby?
Oh yeah.
Do you take magnesium or anything to sleep, or?
No. There's pills for some players to take. Because, because there's a pill called Rest of It that helps with sleep.
Who are you prescribed by a certain individual?
Of course, you know
the individual that takes 14 hay fever tablets before.
That's exactly who.
Yeah.
But it's those pills help. Like majority of players will tell you, sleeping after a game is the worst thing. Like it's so hard, so hard. That Senegal game, I slept 4 a.m. I'm someone who sleeps 9 p.m. Like this is ridiculous amount of time for me. But it's just the adrenaline and how much energy you still have. I just can't sleep, and then constantly as well you're thinking about things or whatever. But the day before,
she's like a baby.
They're sleeping like a baby, bro. It's easy.
You know, talking about adrenaline, actually, you scored in the 6th minute. You celebrate whatever. Your adrenaline is like you're on cloud 9. And for 21 minutes after that, what minute did they score? The 27th minute.
30 something they scored. Yeah.
By the way, you gave 50, 60 million Sudanese people around the world hope that they were going to win the cup.
So much. Yeah.
I think even your brother thought he's going to win the tournament.
Yes.
By the way, I actually tipped Senegal to win the AFCON.
Actually?
Yeah, on Galacticos.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, I said they're going to win it. I knew they were going to win it.
Yeah, no, they're too strong,
they're just a balanced team. That's what it is. And there's a good bond about them.
Sure.
But what's the feeling like? So you score, you're on cloud 9. Your heart's flying. So people are screaming, whatever. How do you go back and go, okay, let's play the game now? Because you got another 84 minutes to play. That's what you're thinking in your head. How do you go back?
I think the biggest thing for me was the fact that, firstly, after I scored, I had the biggest like relief moment, like finally, like I finally got what I wanted this whole time. Whatever happens now, I am so happy, but at the same time, my thought was, okay, let's try to get another one, because that's the 6th minute. Imagine what I can do for the rest of the game, and I feel like confidence is sky high. Like nothing can take me down at the moment. And to be honest, I had a couple chances after that. So in my head, I was thinking, we actually might win this game 1-0. And I was the one to cause it. This is crazy. There's no way I'm knocking Senegal out. Like, that was my thought process. I was like, this is ridiculous. And then every single time we were attacking, it felt like I was going to score. Like, every time I had the ball, I was like, I feel like I can do something again, again and again. And it showed like a couple of chances after. I had maybe 2-3 shots after that where I was like, if I had a cool head on me, if that chance came to me instead of the actual goal, I probably would have scored that instead. Because you're just thinking like, I want to impact the game as much as possible because this is the biggest stage there is. If I'm doing this to Senegal, God knows what kind of offers I can get after this.
Especially thinking about offers in the game too.
Oh no! I was like, I need to show. Like everyone's watching right now. I don't know who's that first game that we're there. I had no idea who's gonna be watching that. And the person that's in the stands is Zinedine Zidane. Like that's insane. Firstly, Zidane is not going to take me anywhere or whatever. But just the fact that these type of people are watching these games,
see me kick a ball.
I'm like, bro, this is ridiculous. So in the Senegal game, I was like, the amount of players that are watching right now, forget even outside of the game, even on their bench, they have Premier League players on their bench watching me play. So the amount of eyes that you would have on you, I was just thinking about that the whole time. I was like, I need to get something out of this. Like, I need to, as much as possible, just try to score this many or whatever. So every single attack was, I'm not thinking obviously about a move or some shit, but I'm thinking, how can I impact as much as possible?
FIFA manager mode.
Yeah, no chance. You're just thinking about how can I make something of this moment, and that's what helps throughout. But it was insane, man.
There's I remember when you came back on the Galacticos, there was a Glaze Sesh episode.
Yeah. I never asked for that, just for the record.
Yeah.
But yeah.
I was meant to be on the episode actually, but I had a family dinner.
Okay.
But a lot of players, this is what the best players have. This is what the greatest players have. You hear it in their press conferences. They could score a hat-trick in a game, but they missed a chance in the 34th minute. And that's what sticks with them. What did you had a great tournament. What do you look back and go, man? Obviously you can't change your past. But what are moments you go like, next time when I get this opportunity, I need to work on this. I need to do this better. What do you think were moments like that in the tournament for yourself?
I think I rushed a lot. Remember we were talking about the level-headed thing? I was very rushed. Like I was rushing myself at the start, the first couple games. There was maybe not many people saw it, but the first game I played against Equatorial Guinea, in the first half, I didn't touch the ball from the first minute up until the 20th minute. It was just constant running. And then I got the ball finally in the middle, took on one player, and then from so far out, I took a shot and it just skied over. But I had so much time to drive more and shoot, like actually make a chance happen from this, or maybe score. So I look at these things and I think about them so hard after the game to the point where I start thinking about nothing good but those bad things the whole time. So I think it's a thing that obviously you can manage that. Like I don't tell myself, oh, you were absolutely shit. I'll say that those are the type of things that you should probably work on. So coming out that Senegal game, I was happy, like beyond happy obviously, because I scored against that kind of side with that kind of goal. But I was, if you saw that game, well, I should have come out with a hat-trick. Like I should have come out with 3 goals from that game. Straight after that chance, I had a chance where I rushed like a ball inside the box, and the defenders were already on the ground. I could have taken a touch and just placed the bottom corner, and that's a goal. That's second goal to go 2-0 up.
Yeah.
And then after that, I got a long ball in behind, and I messed up my touch where I was going to be 1-on-1 with Mendy. That's another chance. So these kind of moments, literally majority of the game, I'm just replaying these kind of moments. I'm like, I could have done this. I could have done, like, coming out that game with 3 goals and we go into the next round. Oh, this is ridiculous. Like, just thinking that was a possibility, that's what kills me. So I try.
Does it kill you?
Genuinely.
Does it kill you, or is it like, I could have done this? Is it like, what kind of feedback do you give yourself? Are you someone that is like hard on yourself?
Yeah, very hard. Like, just to let you know, well, genuinely that goal, I don't think of it as big as everyone else does. I think of that goal as like, yeah, but like I could have done something else. Like, I could have done this. I could have done that. Like that's literally how I look at it, because I'm used to scoring a goal like that. So like, this is in no way like in arrogance or anything, but in training, in my own training, in training with my club, in playing with my club, I would try these goals, and most of the time I would be successful at it. So then you start to get used to it, and you'd be like, that's normal for me. That's okay. But then when you start sitting back down and start thinking about the scenario, it's round of 16, it was Senegal, there was this player, there was that player, there's this guy in goal, there's this. Then I can start making the moment even bigger for myself. But I hardly ever think about it that way. That's why now when you're putting it in that way before about the delusion and stuff, it's like I've never thought about it in that way. Because I think if I was someone who would think in this kind of way, I don't think my performances will be the same. Because I would be so if I was someone who's happy with that goal, I would be so complacent in that game. I'll be like, I'm done. 6 minutes of the game, khalas, I'm finished. I don't need to do anything else. Why do I need to do it? I scored. That's it. But I always downplay the things that I do, which is a negative, but also something that keeps you like level-headed as well. Like if I score that kind of goal, I'll downplay. I'll be like, yeah, but you could have done this. You could have done this as well. Like yes, you scored a goal, but you missed 2 other chances or 3 other chances, which is not what a player that you're trying to aim to be like would ever do. So it's just downplaying those things, so then the highs don't feel like crazy highs, and you're still like in that medium.
So you find the best. What about if you have a really bad game?
Then I remember the good times.
You remember the good times.
Then it's just all mind games with my head. So if I have a really bad game, I'll be like, yeah, so what? I've done this, I've done that. Or I would remember things that players much higher than me in bigger levels that have had stinkers of games, and I'll be comparing. I'll be like, yeah, but that's fine. Even the best players have it. Even the Messis, the Ronaldos, these players have these kind of games. I'm allowed to have this bad game or that bad game or whatever. So then it just nullifies all that kind of stuff, and you're just like, yeah, we'll move on to the next game. You're just keeping that level head as well again. But yeah.
Let's talk about the blow up.
Yeah.
Because he blew up. Mind you, by the way, I deleted my Instagram. You know that. I actually don't have Instagram. So I only have the Talking Trophies account. But I don't. So I'm not in Sweaty Goals FC.
Is that not in it? It's
No, it's not.
Oh shit.
So I'm not in Sweaty Goals FC. So I can't see what's going on. So
Ravens Radio.
Sweaty Goals FC is our group chat we're all in. We used to play pro clubs during COVID. So this group chat's been since 2020.
Great times, man.
We used to play pro clubs.
Great times.
From 2020. And we made a group chat, and this group chat's been around since. And I don't know how, people just send random videos or whatever in the group chat.
That time during COVID was elite though.
So that group chat actually was, when I was that was one of the first things. I gotta lose Sweaty Goals. I mean, like 6 group chats. Sweaty Goals is one of my top 3.
Oof.
Sweaty Goals is top 3 for me. Sweaty Goals is a good group chat
Jeez.
because it's the most random people all together, and it works somehow. That's what I love about that group chat.
It's so weird, though.
How was that thing?
The blow up on Instagram?
The blow up on Instagram. Because I didn't see it. Someone told me, bro, I'm just going crazy on Instagram or something.
Oh, it was going nuts.
40K, 50K now as well.
Yeah, it just hit 50K yesterday. So it was a joke. Like the way it skyrocketed was insane. But I think that's all props to the Sudanese people. And like the way that they're passionate about things, it's insane, bro. Like they fully support you. And it's not just things of like people just admire the way you're playing or whatever and actually like, but there's other pages that start promoting your Instagram page. They're like, guys, let's go support our boy, whatever, and they put your stuff up so then your followers and your account and your whatever can look as good as whatever, So it's a lot of things from them. Like I did not expect any of this. I maybe expected maybe a couple thousands or whatever, and that's about it.
You know what killed me?
But yeah.
I have to say, when you got no Facebook, no Instagram,
Yeah.
why didn't you just say this is my only account?
No, I just because some people might not understand that.
What do you mean?
Like, say for example, for the people that live in Sudan or people that live abroad that speak Arabic and English isn't their main language. If I say this is my only account, they might take that as this is my only Instagram account. But I have a Twitter, I have a thing, I have this or whatever, and people start making fake accounts.
Yeah.
So I was like, let me put it as blatantly obvious on my Instagram, so then everyone just knows. Just wrote no Twitter with a big X, no Facebook with big X.
It means you don't like it. The thing is, it's like boycott. It says no Facebook, no. It looks like what is this? Is it against it or what?
I hope they actually take it the right way. I think they might understand it. Hopefully they do. Because that's as obvious as I can put it, man. I think they should understand it by now. They should be understanding.
And how's that? So tell me your notifications, or like how is your notifications off? Like you don't respond to messages.
I don't respond to that many. I just respond from time to time because I don't want to feel like a bad person. Like these guys are the guys that are supporting me and stuff like that. So I don't want to feel like someone who's just like yeah, okay, but you guys are there. I'm not gonna chat to you guys or whatever. I don't like that sort of thing. Obviously, I can't reply to every message. That takes a lot of energy. There's people that I'm replying to that are close to me or whatever, and then there's obviously fans and all that kind of stuff.
Report to Sweaty or?
Yeah. Nah, of course. I respond there. I chuck my stuff in there, whatever. But like the fans, like the message requests and all that kind of stuff. From time to time, I reply. But like it's not a thing of like I constantly check and stuff like that. So
one thing I don't go on the requests, man.
No, I do now because I realize there's a lot of people that are on there.
Huh?
Where like messages don't come through at all.
No, I don't actually respond to any of them. Even on my TikTok, when I make TikTok videos, people message me, "Hey, do this topic for my soccer ones."
Yeah,
I don't respond to them.
But you see it.
I see it, obviously. Yeah. I don't even see it, to be honest. I leave it because TikTok's not like Instagram. It doesn't tell you like, "Hey, this is a notification." It says this request. But because once you open the message, they can respond to you, message you from now on forever until you block them.
Is it?
Yeah, that's how it is. Because you've accepted them, even if you're not following them back, they can keep messaging you. So even if some guy goes, "Hey, Aamir, I love your football. Wallah, you killed it. You're a hero of Sudan." You respond and go, "Habibi, thank you," whatever. He can message you forever now. Like, spam you. And you can get those guys who send you random reels and stuff.
That's the thing, by the way, that I really don't want to get involved in. Like, that's when those are the thoughts that come to my head that I'm like, I don't want a back and forth conversation. Like, I appreciate the appreciation of whatever I'm doing. And I'll show you that I appreciate it, and I'll talk back. Khalas, we can just leave it there, and that's about it.
Best thing to do is probably for that then is comment. Like reply to a really good comment. If someone makes a comment, maybe
I never put comments on my thing.
Huh?
I don't have them.
Oh, you got them off?
Yeah, I've had them off for years. I don't because I don't see the point of it.
Yeah, but that's the easiest way to respond to someone, and them not messaging you constantly.
True. Yeah, that's very true.
It keeps your keeps your DM safe.
Makes
it a safe space, you know.
Thanks for the tutorial, Wallahi. Yeah. I need to actually take that into.
Hey, tell me about your brothers. And tell me, because your brothers supported you, they held it down for you.
Yeah, for years, man.
We've known that for years, bro. But and whom of them? The thing is, your brothers have a unique. Each brother brings a unique a support kind of support.
True.
Because I remember when you were in Central Coast Mariners, Abdallah moved with you there.
Yep.
That's massive.
Yeah. That's big.
That's not something normal. Like he's changing his career for you. Like Azar making the videos for you and stuff. Like, how important are your brothers for you and that support system? Like, what does it mean?
It's the only thing I reckon that's giving me any sort of platform to get to where I am right now. Like they've supported me through so many things. Like, not just in a way of like coming to my games and telling me well done or whatever, but every single thing, to keeping me in the right environment, to keeping me like humble, to not letting me go astray and this stuff. Like, so many things that and like older brothers would do, and then on top of that, even extra. And the thing is, when you're saying like they both bring different things to the table, Abdullah is as obsessed as I am about football, which is the best thing. Hence why he's very, very supportive of it. Obviously, they love me as their brother as well, but like that sort of love for the sport as well helps even more. So then they're doing things which maybe sound like crazy to others, like someone who's working here now has decided to work somewhere else, like move his whole life, whatever, just because you've gone there. That's insane. That's a massive, massive thing. But I think it shows also the kind of belief that he has for me, and as well the drive that he has for me to also achieve what I want to achieve as well. So if I'm lacking in that, I also see what they've been doing to help me to get to where I am, and that pushes me as well. Like, that sort of support, I can't let them down. Like, I don't want to let them down. I always want to be someone who they can say like, that's my brother, that's what he's doing, and, you know, I'm proud of this and I'm proud of that. So just to keep pushing in that direction, I think that really, really helps. Like, the drive from them really, really helps me like do what I need to do.
No, because I think even when you speak about environments and stuff, for those watching that, like for example, you grew up Flemington, prime Flemington, Holland Court,
prime.
Like, it's like junky area. Like this was a bad environment. Like, we didn't grow up in a good environment. Respectfully, so we all
from the outside it might looks like the worst.
It looks like the worst. We had the best childhood.
Yeah, we had a great time.
You look at the influence and how people turned out in life, it's like, okay, maybe this wasn't the best environment to raise a kid in. Like it was
like
a gamble.
if we're looking at it now, as if we
If you
were
look-
parents or
right
whatever,
now, you have kids.
I would never.
Would you
Never.
have them? You wouldn't. You
Never,
know?
never.
But the thing is it's the fact that your brother still kept you.
Yeah.
Abdallah was always that guy.
True.
Like Abdallah was always the older brother for everyone.
Yep.
In a way.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Like I remember starting smart classes. He bashed everyone except us. You know, That's it. He bashed everyone except Abdallah. You know, like Abdullah was always seen as that. Like, and you have to give him his flowers for that because, to keep you just in line, focused, grounded, and stuff.
True.
It's massive, man, and especially in the environment we grew up in. It's not
very big, wallah.
It wasn't some like you grew up in the suburbs or something. You grew up in a messed up area, like from the outside. Like
there's a lot of people that went a different pathway, man. So for the fact that I stuck to whatever it is, there's a bit of it to do with me. That there's a massive part to do with family and Abdullah and Azam both, because at that time as well, like my dad wasn't in the country, so you're living in a house where it's my mother and my siblings, so it's easy to get led away and stray and stuff like that by kids and by other people, whatever. Usually because the dad is seen as that, that head of the family and stuff, and majority of us as Africans would hardly ever do anything crazy, in that sort of sense. So Abdullah being that father figure in my life was
it's a massive step up.
Amazing. Unbelievable.
It's a massive step up.
Yeah,
because everyone knows the stats of single families, like without single mother families, like in that time, because your dad's overseas, he's working.
Yep.
And it's Abdullah goes, let me step up, let me look after my things,
exactly.
You know what I mean?
Exactly.
And
he done an amazing job, man, for both me and Azam.
Yeah,
for both of us.
He did. He held it down. Kaz, be as selfish as you want with this answer. Do you feel like you were overlooked in Australia? Because I have a hot take, but you tell me, in Australian football, do you feel like you're overlooked?
Oh, 100%. In recent years, 100%. I think if I'm looking back to my time like in my youth, when I played, say for example, when I earned the move to Central Coast, at Central Coast, I was good, but I wasn't like, okay, give this guy an A-League game or some shit. So that's all on me. There's no chance I would say like, okay, you know what, this or this. But that's not to say that I wasn't one of the better players there and I deserved at least a 1 more year extension or whatever, all that kind of stuff. But that's the past anyway. But in terms of like my senior career, when I played seniors and stuff, 100% I was overlooked, because I've done what there is to do to play at a higher level, but I was never like allowed to do that. I was never offered a contract to do that, which is why I would say I was overlooked. But at the same time, maybe I don't suit the style of play that Australia wants to play or that they play in their league. So it's fair enough.
That's what I think it is. That's my hot take on you. I think there's a saying, you can buy water at Woolies for 80 cents, or you can buy water at the airport for $8. Find your airport type of thing.
Yeah.
Australia doesn't have the identity of playing football. Australia's football is not an identity of we have a style of play. This country doesn't actually have a style of play. When you watch Australian football, you're like, tell me, I don't know, what's the style of play? It's more physicality. It's just play long balls and switch the ball forward and try bring it down and take a shot whenever we get a chance and score a set piece. There's no actual style of play. I've always said I think you would have flourished in like Germany or France. Like I think that style of play, because I think you are more of a technical player. Like you read the game, and a certain style of football is what suits you. I don't think Australia was ever with.
Unfortunately, that's the case. I say this to my brothers as well. Like I think if a lot of boys, not just me, a lot of boys that we grew up with at the time, if the country that our parents decided to go to, probably a European country, I think there's most likely a different pathway for majority of us in terms of football.
There's one player I know that'll be playing in the Premier League.
Yusuf? Or
Yusuf.
Yusuf Cheikham.
Yeah, he'd be playing in the Premier League.
100%. These are the type of names that come to mind. So like, there's players like that I think if we were, these academy kids going to academies in like 9, 8 years old, and these are the times that we were doing well here, like with North Lions. We were all 7, 8, 9, 10, 12 max, and we're all doing well. I think, not to be delusional, obviously, but I think if we were in a different country, I think we would have been in academies, and I think that probably would have kept us, maybe led us like in the right path as well. And in terms of football, I think it would have benefited us way more. Obviously, football is not the main sport here, so it's understandable. Like, we didn't have academies growing up. The highest academy was under 18s or under 20s, and that just got introduced maybe like late 2017, 18, whatever, like 16 or whatever, that during that time. So it is definitely a hard place to progress in football. So it's not just a thing of like, oh, you're not good enough or whatever. It's also the surrounding stuff as well. Like, the environment doesn't help too. Of course.
Yeah, like a scout looking, I think it's the perspective as how the scout would look at it. They wouldn't like, unless you had to score, like, I think for them to look at you and be like, you'd have to score like 30 goals a season. Like, you'd have to absolutely dominate in all things. Like, there's players in the Premier League that are stars in England that won't even make it into the bench of like a Spanish team. You know, there'll be players in France that wouldn't make it into the English team that are absolutely dominating. That's true. That's the cruelty of sports. I think it's football. I think football's an amazing sport, but it's such a cool sport because it's the only sport that's like really subjective. Because the scout can look at a player and go, I love this guy. And another scout can go and be like, this guy shouldn't even kick a ball ever in his life. You know?
That's very true.
And then you look at players like Johnny Evans and Phil Jones that are playing, and we're going, this guy can't even like tie the shoelace of a player on the Premier League, but he's playing for United. And there's a reason. It's because the scout saw him and goes, this guy's got a style of football that I like. You know, and
that's what suits them and whatever. A big example of that is Ryan Cherky. See, he's moved to Man City. A lot of teams did not even think to buy him or whatever. But it turns out, obviously, he was tearing it up in the leagues. He was doing unbelievably well. Stat-wise, he was ridiculous. But the style of play that he plays, not many people are a fan of that. Because it looks more flary and beautiful in the eye, but no end product. But he was showing that there was end product, but no one wanted to deal with that sort of player. So football is just all opinions at the end of the day.
It's like even De Bruyne, man, playing at Chelsea. He was overlooked by Jose Mourinho. One of the greatest managers of all time. Overlooks him, goes to Wolfsburg, rips it up in the Bundesliga. City sign him, and he becomes one of the greatest midfielders in the Premier League. You know, like, that's why I was saying, find your airport. You have to find your airport. That's what it is.
That's the truth.
Just expand as much as you can. I think that's what in soccer, you just got to expand as much as you can. And if someone likes you, someone likes you. That's how it is. Like, individual sports are that. Those ones you can. You beat. It's like Jeremy said in tennis or something. He's like, I want my kid to play tennis. Didn't he say? Is it Jeremy? Not Jeremy. Samuel. Said, I want my son to play tennis or something. In the episode.
So then it's only on him.
If I beat the guy 6-2, 6-2, 6-2, I won the set.
That's it.
No one's gonna say, oh, this guy on technicalities. They're not gonna say that, you know.
So either you win or you lose, but it's just on you.
But Aamir, thanks for finally jumping on.
No
Kazi,
problem.
Did I not tell you I'm a dangerous interviewer?
No, this is very good, very well.
Tell me, Kaz.
It's fantastic. It's one of the most entertaining ones. I think it's the most, because you didn't ask. This is no shots to nobody, by the way.
Just chucking at the Galacticos. They're asking a bunch of questions, Kaz, and glazing for an hour and a half online.
Nah, Galacticos was more of like just glaze and celebrations and stuff. Same with the let him shoot one. It was more of a celebration thing. This was more of an interview, which I really do appreciate.
I said I'm the best interviewer, one of the best interviewers. Wallah, I'm a slipped up.
No, I'm
in the wrong city. I'm in the wrong country.
Well, I'm with you, Reba. Azam has told me this, and I'm with you.
You know you. Yeah. You know how you're saying we should have went to Europe? And I should have went to Europe too, wallah. It's not going to do it.
UK.
If I had 20 trophies in the UK, wallah.
That would actually be sick. You would have elite guests as well, bro. You would have some mad guests as well.
It's a tough city, man. The thing is, it's just people. You know what it is? People still don't understand it.
It's not a thing that's popular here. No chance.
But give it time, it will happen eventually because everyone's online now, so.
It's true.
But besides that, Aamir, we are rooting for you. We do support you. Inshallah, we wish for nothing but the best and just keep trying. The thing is, no matter what comes, you just keep trying because you do have the ability. And now you actually have something that you could look back and say, you know what, I do actually have the ability. You know? And, it's evidence at the end of the day for me. You know? Like, you're not one of the boys that spoke about hitting the crossbar in ASFA semi-final. You don't need to talk about that. Like, there's a few boys, they still mentioned they took a shot and hit the crossbar in a semi-final with ASFA. You actually can say I scored in AFCON. You know, like. But just keep trying. I think there's time, bro. Even if at 30, 35, you still can play football, I think.
Yeah.
And then eventually, I think you can even get into coaching or something like that.
I'm gonna try to push as far as possible, inshallah.
Inshallah.
As
But we
far as
are
possible.
rooting for you and we wish you the best.
Inshallah.
Leaves and Davies, make sure you hit the subscribe button. Check out Aamir's page and don't message him because you will be in the request area. But besides that, enjoy your day, enjoy your night, stay humble, faith.